And now it is time for one of my favorite segments. Why do you do it? The Restaurateur edition. And I know a lot of people that, own restaurants, have tried to go into the restaurant or even the bar business. It is not easy. It's not easy at all. And so I want to welcome one of the Nikki Maduro show's very longtime fans because he was a huge texter over at KGO Station X. And that, of course, is Sam. Sam, I do not want to butcher your name, so can you please pronounce your last name for me?
Elbandak.
Elbandak. Sam
Just as
Elbandak.
written. Yeah.
Just as it looks. Sam, I am so stoked to be able to talk to you on my show. We've communicated off air. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm so honored, and I'm excited to be here with you guys live. Finally, it's been years texting and listening to you, and now part of the show. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah. It's now just to let you know, look how big of a fan Sam is. I mean, there he is on Christmas. He got the
Oh,
shirt,
so cute.
got the coffee cup. We love you, Sam. But
Yeah.
now let's get a little
Cheers.
background. There. Oh, look at you. Look. We're twins.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. There we go. Give me a little bit of background on you, Sam. So you own 2 restaurants, correct, in San Francisco?
That is correct. The last one was opened in November. So
Wow.
I've been in the food business for probably mid 90s while I was going to college. I was into the natural food, organic food marketing and distribution. And then in 2015, when I met my wife, she was working at a restaurant in Russian Hill. And that's when we thought, let's open a restaurant. And happened that we tried to buy that restaurant 2 times, and the deal dropped a day before we took over. Then they decided to change the concept. So that last weekend, walking down Polk Street, we saw, of course, we gave up on finding an empty place. It's a very busy area. Then we saw one Chinese restaurant that was slow for a Friday night, picked up a menu, called them, called me back in 5 minutes, met in half an hour, and gave him an offer that night. So it meant to happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're still at that location.
Now this is the new spot on Polk. That's this one?
That is the new spot on Polk. It's right on Polk and Union on the corner.
If you want to know if you're walking by it, Sam sent me some pictures. This is the outside of it. Just correct me if I'm wrong here. And this is the kind of the parklets. So I want to get into how you dealt with COVID. But first off, you and your wife, you meet. She's working in this restaurant. Just because you have that experience doesn't necessarily mean it's the same as owning and running a restaurant. I'm sure you've heard the scary stories about opening up a restaurant. What made you think that you could do it? Do you have history? Have you ever run something like this before?
I've always owned my own business. So since I was 22, I started by having the distribution business. And since then, I take the risk, measured risk, of course. I work hard. I'm a hustler. I always try to make it happen. And my wife had the same qualities. So she's like, let's do it. Let's take the risk. Let's do it. And that's when I know restaurants are not easy, definitely are not easy. And that's why
a lot of
I'm
long
here
hours,
to talk about those challenges. And
Yeah.
but grateful to the community there. It was a very successful story from day one. So we opened on Memorial Weekend on a Saturday. Sunday, we had a line for like an hour, people waiting. Same thing with Monday, which is a long weekend. And since then, it's been a busy restaurant for us.
Here's the inside of the restaurant. Very cute. Look at that. Now you sent me some food pictures. You have another restaurant also though. It's called Townsend Brunch, correct? So here's
Right.
the sign. Now this one, and then this is the inside of Townsend. Very nice indeed. Townsend Brunch. I'm assuming the description's in its name. It's only open for brunch.
Well, what happened, we used to open for dinner at the new spot on Polk.
Okay.
When we got the opportunity to take over the Townsend restaurant and cafe, which has been there for 30 years, closed down because of the pandemic. They tried to revive it, they couldn't. And it was a very well-known restaurant, and the location is amazing. When you're dining inside, you see the Bay Bridge and the bay,
Oh.
and it's set up as a restaurant. The other place more like a neighborhood cafe. It's a square
Hmm.
shape. It used to be a house. This one is more of a restaurant. So when I saw it, we were not planning on another business.
Mhm.
I talked to my wife and she said, "Oh no, let's not do it." Then when she went and saw it, same feeling. She's like, "Let's do it."
Ah.
So we ended up, in order to really overcome some of the challenges, so we started closing the new spot on Polk at 2. So made both restaurants breakfast and lunch only. We moved some of the night staff from the new spot to work in the morning at Townsend, so we
Mm.
can eliminate some of the issue of staffing. And it's at least we still have our life. I mean, having a restaurant, there are no weekends, but at least every day we go
Yeah.
home at 2.
That's awesome. I mean, that is quite the adjustment. How did your staff take to kind of that move? I mean, I can imagine, quite different. It's different. What were you doing? What were you doing all of your staff?
I missed the last part. It was cutting off.
You're cutting out a little bit. It was hard to hear you toward the end there. But I think she's asking, how does your staff take to moving and to kind of being in two places, and how are you working it out with them?
To be honest, I am very blessed with my staff. I have been, they have been, most of the employees have been with us since we opened the new spot on Polk.
Hmm.
And honestly, pandemic, the only reason why we stayed open, we did not close at all, was for them more than it was for us. But then it worked well, and so they're very happy for us to open another place. And my main uh, cook, he does both of them, so he manages both kitchens, and it's been a great support from the staff as well.
So I guess the question, the root of this segment, the why you do it, is what motivates you? What kind of passion inside, what fills you up to do what you do and work as hard as you do?
So the best thing in our partnership is like I have passion to dealing with people. I'm a people person. I like the service aspect of the business, and my wife loves food. So she loves cooking, she loves eating, she knows what the good food is. And so it was a great combination to really,
Right.
when she thought of the idea, I was like, let's do it. I love the idea, let's do it. And that's really was the magic is we have a good team, a good team. It's hard to work in the same space at the same time. So we try to avoid that. Otherwise we'll be like punching each other. But it's
Do you,
working perfect. It's been 7 years, 6.5, 7 years, and it's working perfect.
do you have any plans to open up any more restaurants?
I don't think so. Honestly, we were not even planning on the second. But then
Right.
when we had that opportunity, I got a call for somebody in San Jose that are willing to, they want to do something, and their customers at the new spot on Polk, they said, we want to do it. And I'm going to meet with them on Monday. And
What?
I'm hesitating to go because I'm afraid I'm going to say yes.
Well, if you come down here, Sam, and you're in my neck of the woods, you're going to have to let me know.
Of
Maybe we
course.
can meet up before or after the show. I would love to meet you face to face.
I doubt it, but I'm going to go just to take a look
Uh,
and see what the opportunity is going to be like.
don't bring your wife because apparently she's the one that's going to make you say yes. So
Well, she's
just
gonna say
kidding.
it, but we have a 2 years old baby too, so that even
Oh.
adds to the whole load of
Oh, you
daily
guys have to be
responsibility.
exhausted. My goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
yeah.
Well, Sam, I mean, I want to show some pictures of the food that you also sent me in. This is called the sweet tooth pancake. Look at that.
Oh my.
Oh
That is
my.
one of my personal creations. I used to make it for myself, and then when we changed the menu a little bit, I was like, you know what, we gotta add it on, and it's been selling really well.
Mm,
So one thing at our restaurant, both of them, we make 90% of the stuff from scratch. So we don't use pancake mixes. We bring the flour, we add all the ingredients, we make the pancake mix in-house. Same thing with the sauces, like the custard filling that we put. So pretty much 90% of our stuff is made in-house. Dressings, sauces,
nice.
all the mixes. So it definitely, this is an addiction. We were gonna call it the Queen of Munchies, but well, then we thought it's better to have a family-friendly name. So we called
Everybody. What about look at this? This is the Warriors breakfast. What
Oh.
is all of that?
So the new restaurant got write-ups in few publications, Eater SF and Influation, couple others, and this was one of the focus dishes. So this is not available at the new spot on Polk, but it is at Townsend Brunch. We called it the Warriors Breakfast because it is complete and it's a winner. So definitely fits with the Warriors.
Uh-huh.
And it is a layer of two biscuits cut in half with hash browns on top. Then we put the chicken fried steak,
Ooh.
which is a beef steak fried like a chicken, gravy on it. Then we put the eggs, then top with the bacon and the chives. It's definitely a full meal.
Yeah.
It's really a good meal. I mean,
Oh, that
very
looks
rarely
so
people finish the whole thing. Yeah, very rarely.
I
And
know.
it was actually with people were coming in because it was hashtagged at the SF Eater, I think, as it is as mighty as 2015 Clay Thompson. So
I
all,
love it.
so all the tags were Clay Thompson. People were coming in is like, we want that Clay Thompson breakfast. I was like, oh, hopefully he will come in one day soon.
You never know. He could. He
Yeah.
should. Absolutely. Okay, one more. Look at this burger. Now this, I know I have my non-meat eating fans, people, but look at that burger. That's the bacon barbecue burger.
How do you even fit it in your mouth?
You have to have a big mouth, Kim. I have a big mouth. I could eat that.
You can squeeze those onions are so crispy and very soft inside because we make them from scratch. So they're big, jumbo, but when you put the bun on the top, you squeeze it down, it just becomes like a layer of crispy onions on the top. And for the non-meat eaters, we have many vegetarian and vegan options. We do impossible burgers. We do vegetarian garden burgers. So it could be done, of course, without the bacon, but it could be done with some plant-based
course.
substitutes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sam, if somebody wants to follow in your footsteps, what advice do you give to people? Because I'm sure people go, Sam, you and your wife have done, you've opened up these restaurants, you've been successful, you survived COVID. What advice do you have for people that want to get into the restaurant business? How do you start and how do you sustain it?
Starting, you got to be very organized, especially in San Francisco. I love the city, but the bureaucracy that goes with the city is insane. I mean, so many things, and with the ABC as well, since we have beer and wine, it's a challenge. So you gotta be organized to get everything in order. But most importantly, for the restaurant business, the key word is buying. How you buy your ingredients, because you cannot change your selling price every day. So the power of buying is what really makes it or breaks it for any restaurant, pretty much. And consistency of quality and service. Those are the two main things, service and quality of food. I mean, people want to come eat something good and be treated nicely.
Yeah.
And those are the two magic ingredients for success in the restaurant industry.
Can you talk a little bit about your parklets outside and yeah, the bureaucracy that you've had to deal with? They're trying to charge people for parklets, and how long can you keep the parklets, and do you as a restaurateur invest in a really nice parklet knowing that it might not be permanent? What are your thoughts on all that?
I don't have a parklet, so that's side street seating, but it was expanded more. So we had it before the pandemic. It was expanded more because the next building is owned by the same landlady. I got the permit for a parklet. I've never done it. Honestly, you'll be surprised to hear, but I am a restaurant owner that was always against parklets.
Wow. Why?
Because first of all, the city is busy and tight as it is. So parking is a challenge. Sometimes it takes me half an hour to find the parking, and I own a business there. I need to park. I need to run the business. Delivery drivers, the trucks, you see trucks double parked on both sides. So it's very, very, especially when there are bike lanes, it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane that even they're considering keeping most of them. But I know now, I see some of them are going away. And to be honest, yes, everybody needed the help during pandemic, restaurants. But the government also helped the restaurant so much between the PPP and the RRF and so many loans and grants. So I think now we're asking for too much. I mean, we already got help, we got support. Now things should be back to normal. It's enough. Let's not be greedy. Let's get the boutiques that wait for those cars to park and go see their clothing, or the coffee shop or the dentist or whatever it is. They need those parking spots, especially in a city where really we cannot create more parking. It's
No.
it's it's tough. So I was one of the people, and even one time on Station X with John Rothman, he was talking about it, and I called, and he said, "If you run for the office, I'll vote for you because I like that sector."
I didn't even real. I mean, I did think about, the impact for parking and safety and things like that. I know that the city is absolutely gorgeous. What about crime? What about actually operating a business in San Francisco beyond the bureaucracy? I mean, do you think that San Francisco is going to get that luster back, that tourism back that makes businesses like yours successful?
Part of why we decided to close at night is we could not revive the business or sustain the business that we lost pre-pandemic. So there were a lot of small boutique hotels and small hotels on Lombard Street and Venice. One became Art Institute. A couple of them became shelters for the homeless people. One of them closed. Some of them are operating. So we used to get a lot of night tourist business.
Right.
We did not get pretty much 10% of that. We were making it. We were not losing money at night, but that was really what helped us make that decision in closing earlier. But yeah, the tourism, look, in Russian Hill and in Embarcadero, we don't maybe see what people see in Tenderloin or other neighborhoods in San Francisco, but we do. I mean, last week I had somebody that stayed for a couple hours in the restaurant. When I asked him to leave because we're closing, he gave me a deposit slip as a form of payment.
Oh.
And he's convinced that, I was like, you know what, next time you want to eat, tell me, I'll feed you. Just don't fool me. Just
Yeah.
don't fool me. And the other day outside, a homeless was grabbing a ketchup bottle, drinking from it. I was like, take it and leave. Just don't hang around here. There are people eating. Take the bottle with you and leave. If that's what you want to drink, drink it. But yeah, those are issues that we face on maybe weekly, bi-weekly, sometimes monthly basis. But I know people in Tenderloin, they deal with it on hourly basis, every day. Multiple incidents a day in some cases.
Yeah. That's the big city for you.
Not sustainable
Yeah.
though. You can't have a business and entice people, especially new people in there if that's going on a daily basis. And the Tenderloin, I mean, they obviously have to get it together. You have great spots. I want to show pictures again of your businesses. Again, there's the new spot on Polk. There's the Townsend. Um, Sam, I love talking with you. I appreciate all of the advice that you've given. You write to us. You're a huge supporter of the show. I hope you continue to be. I'd love to get you back on whenever there's a restaurant or a business story, because people are loving you in the comments. You know this community quite well in the comments, and thank you, Sam, for all you do for the show. But honestly,
Yeah.
just for creating these businesses that people obviously enjoy so much, and that's why you've had so much success.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really love what you guys are doing. And sometimes I think never regret when something bad happens, because in many cases, something better comes out of it. And this is what it is. I really love what you guys are doing. Sometimes I miss turning the radio knob on in the car to hear Nikki and Kim in the morning, but it's okay. I tune on the older shows sometimes till it's 12 o'clock. Then I open the live show.
There
Keep
we
it
are.
up. You guys are doing great. We're always here to support whatever we can do. And thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you. And again, if you want to visit Sam's restaurants, I've put the websites in the show notes. So right underneath the description of today's show, you can find it there. Sam, thank you so much. And you have a great day. And thank you so much for supporting the
you.
show. Thank you.
Thank you.